Gemini, this June, trusting your faith could unlock the abundance you've been dreaming of. It's like you cannot escape money finding its way to you and all of your dreams coming true. So let's go, Gemini. Hi, I'm Lindsay with Love. I'm a Western tropical zodiac astrologer, and I came to Earth to help you transform your life. And I do that by reminding you how energetically powerful you are. I help you release your limiting beliefs and reprogram your subconscious mind so you can actually manifest it all. So let's get going, Gemini. I'm so excited for this month. We are going to look at the general transits, and then I'll take you week by week and we'll look at the chart and kind of see how the month progresses, looking at all the different aspects and stories that are going to play out. Gemini, I do want to remind you that I use astrology as an awareness tool, and it's really up to you to be an active participant in creating your reality. So the astrology gives the energetic potentials in the sky, and you get to use the information and take that information and take action with it so you can actually start to transform your reality. All right, Gemini, let's get this conversation going. Mercury is starting off in your first house, and with Mercury in the first house at the beginning of the month, you are very much focused on yourself, on your life, on your appearance, on how you are perceived, on what you are doing. It's all about you, and that's okay. Your focus is there, and it could be that you're even planning out maybe a new life path for yourself, or you're planning out or thinking of ways to show up in a different energy so people perceive you differently. And you might be even thinking about ways to maybe switch up your appearance or something like that. Then on the 8th, Mercury then shifts into your second house. And now you're focused in on your money. This is like you've got your mind on your money on your mind type of vibes. And it could be also that you are working on becoming an expert in some craft or natural gift or talent you have. You are focused on how to earn more money, how to receive more money in, maybe save money. You are focused on how to create a sense of security and live a life of comfort, maybe even luxury with the money that you have. And then on the 26th, Mercury then shifts into your third house. Mercury's quite at home here, ruler of the third house. And so you're now focused in on communicating, marketing, learning something new, studying something new. You might be planning a short trip. You might be communicating with your siblings. You might be communicating with somebody from your childhood or reconnecting with somebody even from your childhood at this time. But ultimately, it's a really powerful time, Gemini, for you to be really letting people know what value you bring to the table, who you are, your knowledge, your gifts, your skill set, your talent. And if you are in sales, or if you're in marketing, or you're an entrepreneur even, it's a powerful time to be promoting yourself, your business. So then what about Venus, the planet of love and money? Well, starting off the month, Venus is hanging out in your 11th house, and this is really powerful for a couple of reasons. The 11th house involves your social networks, the friends you spend time with, the groups and organizations you spend time with, business networks, colleagues. And Venus is here with this energy of love. So your charisma is really turned on and people want to spend time with you. You're likely a little bit more popular at this time. But from a tangible perspective, Venus is also the energy of money. So isn't that nice? And the 11th house is the money that you earn from your career. But it's also the house of benefactors and allies and people that want to support you. So Gemini, if you are looking for somebody that could be an investor in a business idea you have, or if you are even looking for love and money, you could find a partner that has both to give to you at this time. It could be that you start to date a friend even at this time. So things to think about there. That's only for a little bit though, because Venus does enter into your 12th house on the 6th of the month. So Venus in the 12th house, this is a powerful time to spend some time alone and to really kind of re-engage with yourself and your spiritual essence and your connection with the divine and cultivating your faith. You just got done being very popular, so kind of centering back into who you are, releasing any energies that don't belong to you. This is a time as well where you may be able to release or let go of a bad habit, maybe even an addiction. It's a time where you might find yourself on a bit of a self-love journey or really honoring maybe the more intuitive parts of you. But from a tangible perspective, it could be with Venus, the energy of money here in your 12th house of international business. It could be that you make kind of a backroom deal or a negotiation and make some money somehow, some way, with Venus hanging out here in the 12th house as well. So Gemini, you know where your mind is this month, you know where your love and your money is hanging out this month, but what about you? What are you doing physically to take action and start to actually create your reality? Well, we look to Mars, and Mars is hanging out in your 3rd house at the beginning of the month. And with Mars in the 3rd house, this is you really being bold and expressive and kind of forward in your communication. This is you not being afraid to study something new. Maybe you've decided to enroll in a class. Maybe you're just like, learning something on your own, following a curiosity that you have. It could also be a time where you are reconnecting, maybe grabbing a coffee or grabbing lunch with somebody from your childhood. Or you could even be organizing maybe a trip, or if not that, maybe you're organizing something within your community, because Mars is like physical action, and the 3rd house does involve the neighborhood that you live in. So are you sprucing up the neighborhood? Do you have some sort of neighborhood block party going on? Do people still do those? I don't know. Those happened when I was a little kid. So maybe you're doing something like that as well. And then on the 17th, Mars, this planet of action and energy, is moving into your 4th house of home and family. So now you're focused in not so much on your neighborhood, but on your house. Spring cleaning, summer cleaning, renovating, landscaping, fixing up. Be mindful here, you might be a little bit bossy in the home. Mars is that leadership type energy, so you might be kind of taking charge. It might be that you are, kind of organizing the family routine in a certain way that's more beneficial for the family. It's things like that. Before I move on to Jupiter, the planet of abundance and expansion, changing signs for the next year, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you are a Gemini or you know one in your life. Gemini, you know what? Hell yeah. Jupiter is hanging out in your 1st house at the beginning of the month, where he's been for the last year. And so it's very likely that you felt very expansive and abundant as it relates to your independent path. Who you are, the path you're on, it feels fulfilling, it's abundant. People are perceiving you in a way that really expands your life in some way. Then on the 9th, Jupiter leaves your 1st house and enters into your 2nd house of money. Get ready, Gemini, because for the next year, it is very likely that your bank account is growing and expanding, especially if for the past year, you've been focused in on really like expanding yourself, like stepping into the greatest version of yourself with Jupiter in that 1st house. Now that you're feeling good, you're feeling empowered, you know who you are, you know what path you're on, boom, Jupiter enters into your 2nd house of self-worth. You're worthy, you're ready. Of your gifts and talents, you're gonna expand them. Of your money and receive more money in. It is such a beautiful transit, Gemini. Let me know in the comments below how it plays out for you for the next year. I am rooting you on, and I'm very excited for this for you. Let's talk about the full moon and the new moon, and then we will move on to the week by week analysis. I will pull up the charts and you can follow along with me, which I've really been loving doing this month for the first time ever, so I hope you enjoy it too. On the 10th, you have a full moon happening in your 7th house, and most people will say, not the full moon in the 7th, because full moons bring endings and culminations and completions, and that 7th house of personal relationships, not many people want their personal relationships to end. However, Gemini, I will offer a different perspective, and that is perhaps maybe a toxic relationship ends, and then that's for the good of you and the person involved. But maybe just the dynamic of the relationship shifts, right? Like you could go from boyfriend, girlfriend to fiance, and that's a beautiful shift, but it's still an ending of an energy. Or you could go from fiance to husband and wife this month, and that's still technically an ending of a dynamic in a relationship, but transcending into a higher frequency. So expect some shifts in relationships, whether it's business partners, friendships, or partners, soulmates, husbands, wives, that type of energy. But remember, Gemini, it does not always mean that it's a bad shift. Then Gemini, on the 25th, there is a new moon happening in your 2nd house, once again, of your worth, of your natural gifts and talents, and of your money. This is a super powerful time, especially with Jupiter right there. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but with Jupiter there to send out your greatest desires, declare out your manifestations. I want money, I want riches, I want to be a millionaire, I am a millionaire, whatever it is for you, Gemini, because that new moon is going to help you really bring more wealth and abundance to you. All right, Gemini, let's get into the week by week and what you can expect. But before I do that, I do want to remind you that I am not a doom and gloom astrologer or person in general. I understand the power of the words and the power of thoughts and our minds. And because of that, I'm going to give you astrology in the highest vibration. So even if we come to a square or an opposition in the sky,
sky, which is typically kind of like negative or a bad type of aspect, I'm going to give it to you as an opportunity for your soul to grow and evolve. So in my life, I don't view my life as having challenges or problems. I simply view my life as constant opportunity for evolution, and I would offer that the same to you. All right, so let's get going. I'm going to annotate. I'm having lots of fun doing it this way. So Gemini, let me know in the comments below if you're enjoying this, if you enjoy this, because I'm enjoying it. And if you like it, then I'll keep going with it. Why not, right? It is fun to do. Okay, so we're going to start off. I'm calling week one, the 1st through the 8th of June, I'm calling the week of good vibes and positive transformation. And I'm going to give you the reasons why. So we're going to start off strong right here with Neptune and Saturn in conjunction. Now, Neptune and Saturn in conjunction, when I read it, I'm thinking this is your ability to bring your biggest dreams down to earth, right? Neptune, the energy of your dreams and your wishes, of your spiritual essence, of your creativity and your imagination, merging and amplifying with Saturn, the energy of your responsibility, your discipline, your maturity, your emotional intelligence. So right out of the gate, we've got this really powerful energy and it's hanging out in your 11th house of the friends you spend time with, groups and organizations you spend time with, your humanitarian efforts, your vision for how you are going to make an impact in the world. So Gemini, if you have a dream about you leaving a legacy or creating an impact, this is a good time to start thinking about it and really start implementing. Now, this energy, we've got to go this way, over here to Pluto in your 9th house, sextiling Pluto in the 9th house. So this is opportunity for growth, transformation. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right, Gemini? So Pluto is bringing in this energy of rebirth, rejuvenation, regeneration, transformation around your dreams and your wishes fulfilled. Super empowering energy. Here, this is potentially some spiritual healing, especially because you have Pluto healing energy in your 9th house of your dharma, of you connecting with your soul's mission here on this earth. I mean, this is very much like soul mission type energy, right? You've got Pluto in the 9th, connecting with bringing your dreams and wishes to fruition down to earth in the 11th house of humanitarian efforts. So it wouldn't surprise me if you're really feeling that urge to do something greater with your life at this time. This is growth and evolution at its finest. Also, you stepping into your authenticity more so, right? Because the more authentic you are, the faster you're going to manifest, right, Gemini? Because authentic energy is rewarded in this lifetime. It takes courage and bravery to be very authentic and true to you, no matter what anybody else is doing. And I love the idiom, fortune favors the brave. And we can take that energetically and say, the more authentic I am, the more that abundance will find me in this lifetime. So that's what's happening. And it's happening all week for you, but not just all week. We're kind of kicking it off this week. It's happening for months, right? Because these outer planets are slow moving planets in the sky. So it'll take some time for them to kind of drift apart and kind of break this sextile aspect and connection. Okay, so that's happening for you. And let's see what else we've got happening in the sky. I've got my notes right here, Gemini, so I'm looking down every once in a while to see these notes. So we've also got Venus hanging out here once again in your 11th house. Sextile Jupiter in your 1st house. I love this, Gemini. This is the energy of a kiss of luck, money luck falling from the sky right into your lap. It doesn't get any better because you've got Venus in your 11th house of not only the money you earn from your career, but the 11th house of your friends and benefactors and allies, people wanting to support you. And by the way, your personal charisma and magnetism is turned on, right? So you got this in connection with Jupiter and sextile with Jupiter in your 1st house of you expanding out your own life path. It's such beautiful energy and it's happening all week for you as well in the sky. So keep an eye out. If you are looking, Gemini, to expand your life in some way and you need an investor or somebody to support you monetarily, this is the time where you might receive that or connect with somebody that wants to help you. You might even be like meeting a business partner. I could see it going that way. I could see it that you're meeting somebody and kind of not necessarily falling in love with, but maybe start dating somebody new, maybe falling in love, starting a relationship with like a friend. And that friend that you've known forever, you fall in love and your whole life expands and opens up because of it. It's like that type of vibe energy. So let me know how it plays out for you, Gemini. That's exciting news. We're moving on here. I'm going to show you really quickly where to look. Down in this right-hand corner, you can see this is the date. So as I move the chart, watch that corner. You'll see the date move and you'll see the planet shifting. Okay. So I'm going to just move it forward and I want to show you from around like the 5th to the 8th. You've kind of got, oh, sorry, excuse me. I need to back up a second. From the second, back it up, Lindsay, back it up. Ooh, ooh, not that far back. Ah! Oh, Gemini, the perks of being live. You are watching live. Okay, here we go. Back it up. There we go. We want to look at, I almost skipped Mercury here in the first house, Mercury, sextile Mars in your third house. Okay. So let's talk about what Mercury sextile Mars means. You've got a plan and you want to go for it. You're ready to like do something, right? You have an idea in your brain, you want to take action. Mercury, communication, thoughts, ideas, Mars, the planet of action. And it has to do, once again, with communication about your like soul mission, your path in life. Um, could also have something to do with like your neighborhood, perhaps. Could have something to do with like your siblings as well. You might be planning a little trip as well here with this energy. You're putting your plan into action in a bold way. Good news is headed your way that um, has you taking action around maybe studying something new. You know, you got Mercury in the first house. You're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about your life. You're thinking about how people perceive you. And you have Mars in this house of communication and intellect. And so it could be that you realize you need to learn something. And so you start to take action in this house of studying. It could also be that you realize that people might not be taking you seriously, Gemini. Maybe it's the way you sound, right? You can train your voice. I trained my voice. I used to speak in my throat. Hey guys, I'm Lindsay. It's nice to see you. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh, so annoying. I can't even barely watch my old videos. And then I train myself to speak from my heart. Sounds way more authentic and it sounds nicer to listen to, right? So that could be something you're doing here too. But it's easy, right? Sextiles are easy. You just have to take a little bit of action. So put some sort of plan into action there, Gemini. It is your time to do that. And then lastly, let's move this along to, and by the way, let's keep on that conversation for a second. This is what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you that this sextile between Mercury and Mars that I just talked about is happening through around the 8th. So we're watching the bottom right screen. We're watching the date move forward. But you'll notice that Mercury is getting closer to Jupiter. And from around like the 5th to the 8th, look at that conjunction. Mercury conjunct Jupiter, sextile Mars. I'm going to just really quickly circle it so you see again, right? So this is like big news. This is like, holy cow. I have a big idea for my own life, this first house, and I am ready to tell people. I am ready to learn what I need to learn. I am ready to do the dang thing. So super exciting, Gemini. What is it? I'm so curious. I'm so curious about other people's lives and helping them transform. So let me know in the comments below if this is you and like what your big, what your big bold idea is. I would love to know. All right, so that kind of rounds out the week for us. But I do want to mention that on the 7th, going into like early next week, we do have, or you do have, Venus up here in your 12th house. Venus is in Taurus now here, squaring up to Pluto over here in, your 9th house. Now, Venus Pluto energy in the sky is like millionaire billionaire energy. Now it's a transit, so it's moving energy, right? But you could tap in and start generating some wealth. Now, once again, squares and oppositions are kind of those tension-filled or more sticky type of energies, but they're catalysts, they're triggers for change, they're triggers for growth, transformation, and evolution. So what is this telling me? I mean, you have opportunity to heal, transform, heal Pluto, Venus, love. You could break free from an addiction here with Venus in your 9th house. You could heal some sort of limiting belief or life philosophy with Pluto here in your 9th house. And because of it, it opens you up spiritually, and you're all of a sudden like realizing that you have this like divine power within you. Um, you could you could share something fun. There's kind of this tension, and it's a catalyst for growth. It's a catalyst for change. I mean, you could realize through some sort of introspective work here in the 12th house, Venus here, through meditation, journaling, scripting, automatic writing, talking with your higher self, your guides, your angels. Maybe you go to a healing session. You could realize like what you came here to do. This is like spiritual awakening, soul mission type vibes, right? Because your dharma is your ninth house, why you came to earth. I came to earth, Gemini, to transform people's lives. That's why I'm here. And I'm doing it by teaching you and speaking energy to you in the highest vibration. So, I mean, there's lots playing out here, but it's big energy. It's money energy. It's healing energy. Ooh, it's, there we go. It's spiritual awakening energy. It's soul mission, soul purpose type vibe. So big energy in the sky. This is just the first week of June, Gemini. We haven't even gotten to the rest of it yet, but let's transition now into the second week. That Venus Pluto aspect lasts until about the 12th. If you want to keep your eyes on where Venus and Pluto were in the sky, you'll see by the 12th, Venus has kind of moved on from Pluto. Venus is now at 6 degrees Taurus. Pluto's still at 3 degrees Aquarius, so kind of moving on at that point. All right, let's see. So from the 9th to the 15th, I'm calling week 2 of June the week to get right with yourself. Get right with yourself. And I'll tell you why. All right, we've got Mercury conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, right here, in your second house, squaring up with Neptune conjunct Saturn in your 11th house. So here we've got some frustration around money, perhaps. You, Gemini, have a big, grand idea about your money, the money that you earn from your gifts and your talents. And you've got a big, bold vision, and you want to bring this vision and this dream down to earth. But perhaps you're like, how am I going to do this with only me, myself, my skills, my money? Maybe you feel like you don't have it in you. You don't have enough. Like you need some help. You need some help in this like 11th house of friends, benefactors, allies, that type of energy. It's like, I have a big vision, but how can I actually bring it down to like, do I have the discipline for it? That's kind of what you're toying with. But once again, maybe you realize like, okay, maybe I need more money. Okay, well then go get it. Go talk to people, right? You've got the opportunity here in your 11th house. Go get it. It's yours for the taking with Jupiter and Mercury hanging out in your second house. You've got the idea and you've got this expansion energy in your money house and your gifts and talents house. So all you need left in the second house is your worthiness. So assuming that you feel worthy, Gemini, go get what's yours. Stop overthinking it. Do the damn thing, right? Get right with yourself. Get right with yourself. All right, let's keep going, Gemini. By the way, that's happening all week, till about the 12th, right? That conjunction, those conjunctions, and that, yeah, as you see, it already breaks up on the 12th. But it'll be a little bit like kind of walking to the second week, you're a little bit like, how am I going to make this work? But there's a way. Where there's a will, there's always a way. And if it's in your heart, you can absolutely do it, okay? So we'll go back to the 10th of June. I want to talk about another transit aspect that's happening in the sky for you, which is, and I'm looking down, sorry, at my notes and at my screen, so I'm trying to do my best to give you my face and my knowledge as well. All right, so we got Venus in Taurus, sextile Mercury in Cancer. Ooh, why isn't this? Okay, hold down the button, Lindsay. There you go. Okay, so once again, Venus, sextile Mercury, this is personal magnetism. This is manifesting power, if you ask me, because when I think about what you need to manifest, you need thoughts and speech. That's Mercury. Thoughts, speech, Mercury. You need love, Venus. You need Mars. You need to take action, right? Mars isn't part of this equation, but you do need to take some action. So you're really magnetic. You're ready to manifest. And I would say you might be receiving messages from the divine, Venus in your 12th house, through meditation, through dreams, through whatever. and messages around how to make more money, receive more money, earn more money. You've got plans for it, and maybe your plans involve spirituality of in some way, somehow. You're sitting in meditation and an idea comes to you about a skill that you need to enhance in order for you to make more money. I mean, all of those scenarios could play out. So I would say meditate. Meditate, and especially if you're trying to think about ways to earn money, ask your higher self, from my highest truth and compassion, for the good of all and the harm of none. What do I need to do next to make money? It's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? At least 20 times a day, I'm talking with my higher self because I live in a flow state. My higher self tells me what's next. So I love to ask the question, what's next in the world of Lindsay, higher self? What's next in Lindsay's evolution? And whatever my higher self tells me to go do, I do the dang thing. Which is why that I've publicly declared I am going to create like a talk show, radio show, whatever. What am I doing? Okay. So that is happening all week for you. So pay attention to your dreams, sit down, do some introspective work, meditate, journal. You've got this, Gemini. You can create your reality. Don't forget it. And then we look at the ninth. Again, we're basically there. We want to look at Uranus. You've got Uranus here in your 12th house in Taurus, squaring up with Mars in Leo in your 3rd house. Okay, so this is the energy of really being able to break free from something, break out of a rut, get unstuck. It's that type of vibe because Uranus in the highest expression is you dismantling something that's not working for you so you can go bigger, right? And Mars in the highest expression is taking the right actions toward that. And so here it's like, this is it could be that you're done silencing yourself. I mean, I don't know. This Uranus energy is happening in your 12th house of your spirituality, of what's beneath the surface, of going, behind the veil, under the veil, uh, raising the veil, lifting the veil. What am I trying to say here, Gemini? And you've got Mars in your 3rd house of studying, of communicating. Maybe you have some sort of spiritual breakthrough, integration of spiritual knowledge, right? Because a lot of people have an understanding of spiritual concepts, but they haven't quite implemented their knowledge to integration point, which means they've actually shifted their paradigm, which means they've actually manifested a new reality. So it could be that you're finally like breaking out of this intellectualization mode and you're like integrating and it's loosened you up. And now you're ready to really share your truth, share your knowledge, share your vision, tell the world, make an impact, all of those things that we were talking about with this energy up here and this energy down here, right? So you'll have to figure out how that's going to play out for you. But just expect, there to be this idea around like breaking free, specifically around like something spiritual and communication, your thoughts. It also could be like a belief system. The belief system is more like 9th house energy. Oops, up here. It's more 9th house energy. But you've got Mars in your thoughts and in your mind, right? So it could be that you're breaking out of a thought loop, a stuck loop, a toxic thought loop, negative self-talk loop that's keeping you stuck. And it's keeping you stuck in your dreams and wishes fulfilled, this 12th house. So it could very well be that you're finally realizing like you cannot talk bad to yourself. Gemini, you should be your number one cheerleader. I will tell every single soul I know, I'm my number one cheerleader. Nobody talks to me nicer than I talk to myself. Nobody. Well, my higher self, but we're together. We're on the same team. My partner comes in a very close second, but even then, I'm talking nicest to myself because I recognize I have got to be the one. I'm creating my reality. My partner isn't creating my reality. I am, right? So remind yourself of that. And that could be where you get unstuck. Woo, so powerful, Gemini. Let's keep it moving. All right, so we're moving into week 3 now. So let's move this along to the 16th, to the 17th, actually. Let's get Mars into Virgo. Mars into Mercury. Let's get Mars into Virgo. And let's get going. I'm calling week 3 the week of going big or going home, Gemini. So choose to go big. let's not play small. We've got this life, so let's use it. Let's make the most of it. You'll see that you have Jupiter here in Cancer in your second house of money. Very nice. In this nice sextile with Mars in the house, in your house of home and family, right? The fourth house of your emotional foundation and your own security, but more so from a tangible perspective, the home that you live in, from a physical home, the land you live on, your real estate portfolio, and your home and family life. This is the vibe of like taking big, bold action in these areas of life. I mean, I could see this tangibly, like you selling houses, you're a realtor now, real estate agent, you're selling land, you're buying property, you're creating the homestead, you are renovating your home. It could play out in many different ways, but you've got this abundance. I mean, you could be starting a home business, a home-based business, a family business. You're taking action with your family and you're making money doing it. So you tell me, Gemini, what your plans are there. But go big or go home. Mars has you at home anyway, so you're already home, so you might as well go big. All right, moving on to the final week of June. I'm calling this week the 23rd through the 30th, the week to manifest it all. If you haven't already been excited about this month, like you might as well get excited now because let's move it forward. I will tell you why, Gemini. I will tell you why. Let's move it forward to the 24th. On the 24th, look what we've got here. Let me erase this little dot. That's quite annoying. We have got what's called a Jupiter cazimi. A cazimi, a fun word nonetheless, but a cazimi when a planet enters into the heart of the sun, and then the energies are wildly amplified. Like this is what I said at the beginning of the intro, like money, you can't escape money. You just can't, Gemini. You can't escape money and you can't escape like a nice home, family life and your dreams coming true this month. Jupiter, the planet of expansion in your money house. Do I need to say more? If I do, then let me move it forward one more day so I can show you how it gets even better. Let me move this cursor up a little bit. So you can see now you've got the moon there. There's also on the 25th a new moon in your money house conjunct this Jupiter energy. So if it's not already happening for you, declare it out. I am wealthy. I require wealth. I require money. I require and insist upon riches in my life. I insist upon a fulfilled life of luxury and material comforts. I mean, don't be afraid, right? Tell the universe what it is you require, Gemini, because the universe will deliver when you're bold enough to say what it is you require. Okay, so that new moon energy we talked about a little bit, but once again, use it, and don't be shy. Do not be shy. Use your voice. All right, so let's move it along to then the 26th through the end of the month. We're going to end here. 26th through the end of the month. We have two more aspects happening. We're going to start off here looking at Neptune and Saturn in the sky in trine with Mercury. Actually, I just want to move this a little bit forward. So you do see that Mercury is in Leo now. We talked about this, but just so you can see Mercury down here in Leo in this trine energy, harmonious aspect. So this is you maybe receiving messages about how to create your dream life. This is you telling people and feeling confident and empowered to share your visions, your ideas of how to positively impact the world. This is you communicating out your spiritual experiences, bringing them down to reality. This is you communicating out your authenticity, this 12th or 11th house, excuse me, of authenticity. This is also perhaps you connecting with or hearing news from maybe a sibling, somebody in your neighborhood, your community, even somebody from your childhood or your, growing up that could help you, that could actually be helpful to you in, once again, this conjunction here of creating your dream life, one that involves you making an impact in the world in a positive way. So you've got that going on. And in tandem, simultaneously, you've also got something else going on. You've got Mercury here across the sky from Pluto. That was real bad. Let's try to go the other way. Maybe I can go down to up. There we go. So you've got Pluto here in your ninth house. transformation as it relates to your soul mission, as it relates to your life philosophies, in a little bit of like a tug of war, internal, external. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I say it? Should I not say it? Mercury in your third house. Okay. So you're kind of trying to figure out maybe what you can share, how much you can share around like, holy shit, I figured out my soul mission. Holy cow, I am changing my whole life and stepping onto my soul path and my soul purpose. I have figured out, oh, this is good, Gemini. I am in a little bit of a tension between what I currently think and speak about reality, about my life. I'm wondering about my life philosophy and my beliefs and what I need to change about them so that I actually manifest my best life. Gemini, it's very important to understand that energetically there's such thing as called a belief chain, and I'm teaching this in a money class that I'm launching soon. But it's this idea where you have a series of beliefs that shape your life. And there could be a belief tucked in the middle of this chain that is in direct conflict with what you are desiring to create and this belief. And because there's this break in the chain, you never quite get to the manifestation. So I would ask yourself, with this energy, with all these circles, I would ask yourself, is there something that I know I have got to change in my belief system, in my life philosophy? And I have to be brave enough to change it so that I can actually step into my manifested reality.